Welcome in the Gamesthetic episode 174. I'm your host, Alex Light. Hopefully you're having a phenomenal day today, whatever day you're watching or listening to this show. No Zach yet, but I can only assume he is on the way. But we got John here in the studio. John, how you doing?
Hello. I mean, we got this showcase to talk about, but I think we both were hoping it was going to be a little bit more exciting.
I agree 100%.
I think you were a little higher on it immediately after it ended than you are right now.
I think that's probably accurate, yeah. I mean, I was a lot higher on it because I told you via message that I gave it a B. After a rewatch,
I went back and watched it later, and I went, "Where the hell did he get a B?"
I don't think it got a B out of me anymore. No, the knee jerk reaction to the B. I mean, I'll go ahead and say it is definitely because of Astrobot. I thought that game looked extremely impressive. We'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah. We're finally in season. This is one of the most glorious times of the year for gamers, where you just have a ton of information just dropping left and right. And the first showcase is now dropped with the state of play that everyone thought was going to be a lot better and wasn't. We have Summer Game Fest coming up, an Xbox showcase, the most anticipated showcase of them all, the Ubisoft Forward, of course. There's a lot of good stuff coming up, so can't wait for it. Don't know the show's schedule yet. We're going to figure it out, because normally we do like 2 shows around this time. We may just do one on like the Tuesday after everything. We may do one next Friday and Tuesday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll post it on Twitter. It is what it is.
Probably going to depend some on like how good the showcases actually are.
That is true.
Because it was like, I think last year we planned on doing more, but then it was like, we got no point in doing that. It'd be a 15-minute episode.
Yeah, exactly. So I think it was last year we did like one that covered like Summer Game Fest and like something else, and we had like the Xbox one, and then we were going to do one for like a Nintendo Direct. And after the Nintendo Direct and like whatever other small showcase, we were like, no, we'll wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a we'll see. Like I said, I'll post it over at Twitter at AlexLight23 as well as at Gamestetic Pod. I'll post over there what the schedule is going to be, whether if it be Friday and Saturday of Friday and Tuesday, the following Tuesday, or just Tuesday. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, state of play throughout this show. After that, shoot the shit for a little bit. We got a few things on the weekly wrap up. Don't really have a whole lot on the docket in terms of talk. It's just going to focus on the state of play, trash it. I was about to say celebrate it, but just trash it. And then just talk about whatever we want. We will give a shout out to Rogue Energy and Agent Inc. later on in the show, of course. And I think with that, I can turn to 2 cams until Zach gets here and turn down the music that we can't hear, but the show can hear. The video can hear it. We can't. Yeah, I started to realize when it came to the music thing, while I like listening to it loud, I realized that like whenever I unmuted the Rodecaster to get into the show, it was playing double because it was pulling from here and the video file. So I was just like, all right, I'll just turn it down for us, and it'll be loud for the show, and it'll be fine. We'll be fine. But anyway, so overall, how you doing today? Just kind of meh. Just that's kind of my vibe right now. It's kind of meh.
I've been big chilling today.
Yeah. I had some errands to run. The errands I had to run, so that was exciting. Other than that, I will say, been playing some TFT, enjoying this, enjoying that. Got a couple wins, which is better than usual for me. Jumping into a new set. Real proud of my first win because it was literally 3 games into the set. I looked up no comps. I had no idea what this set was. Just played a couple hyper rounds, whatever they
hyper roll.
Hyper roll, thank you. And then jumped to a full length game and won it. I'm like, all right, we're in it, boys.
Yeah.
So having fun with that.
Haven't touched it at all.
It's actually pretty fun. So the Ghostly is the one that I won the first game with, and then I won one today with Storyteller or Story Weaver. I don't remember which one. I think it's Story Weaver and Mythic combo. Enjoyed that one quite a bit. Bard is a monster. Bard is unnecessarily good. Like, love him as an attack carry for you. Throw the whatever blade on him, the bow and magic rod combo weapon. Forgot what it's called. Starts with a G. Throw like 3 of those on him, 2 of those on him, whatever. A red buff or something. Bruh. He's just going to go. He's going to just do Bard things and just rack up a ton of damage. Tom Kinch, really good as well. He's a mythic bruiser. Enjoying him a lot too. Having fun. It's been a good time.
I did actually play something different this week.
Okay.
I dipped my toes briefly back into Diablo 4.
Okay. All right. That's
Just-
not what I expected to hear.
Just briefly. It's
Yeah.
like I started playing it and it's like I played it for like an hour and then kind of sat there and went, do I really think I'm going to spend like 40 hours playing this game over the next like month or so? I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's
and
fair.
and just drop back out. I was like, I don't want to start it and just be like slowly playing it for like 30, 40 minutes a day or something like that. So I kind of just dropped back out. I mean, it's fine what I played. It's just not in the mood for it right now.
I get that. Let's see. For me, it's just been TFT. I did try XDefiant. Actually, really enjoyed it. Only played a couple rounds, but I do want to play it some more. Had a lot of fun. I see why Zach enjoys it. I mean, I thought it was a pretty solid time, and I enjoyed it for the same reason that he enjoys it, which is like it was more objective based kind of thing. I enjoyed it. I thought the gameplay was solid. Enjoyed the faction stuff. Firebomb is a lot of fun. So is the shield. That is fun, like he talked about. So yeah, for a free to play game, I really enjoyed it. I definitely agree with the kind of vibe that like we all kind of talked about and like you two kind of talked about, where it's like it feels like a good like intermediate game, you know, before you get to Black Ops 6. Like that's definitely the vibe. Like this is definitely a game that's going to be your nice bridge game if you enjoy an FPS, you want something different. It's free to play. It's kind of unique gameplay. I did enjoy it. A lot of fun. Still been playing Minecraft too. I am just blown away by this seed that I'm in, guy. Cannot stress enough. This is one of the coolest seeds, probably the coolest seed that I've ever had. Like it is so insane. I just continue to find more shit. It's unreal. So having a lot of fun with that. I will say, I told my girlfriend this earlier. I think tonight's the night. I think I'm about to start another Mass Effect playthrough. I will say that. I think that's on my docket right now. I've just been my timeline on Twitter for whatever reason has been flooded with people posts about Mass Effect, and it got me the itch. So I think tonight's the night. I'm gonna queue up Mass Effect 1 again and start a new playthrough and have a good time there.
I mean, to each their own.
Yeah, it's to each their own.
You say Mass Effect, and my mind just goes blank.
I know. At least
to be fair, I've tried it a couple times.
You've tried it, and I appreciate you and respect you for that. So I don't know. I can't think of anything else that I've really been up to this week. I think that's about. I did have to go out of town this week, so I kind of cut into some game time.
Just been playing RuneScape all week.
No, yeah. Esports Godfather too.
No, just RuneScape.
Yeah, RuneScape,
pretty much all that.
I mean, I can't blame you. Look at me with Minecraft right now.
I did play a lot. I did continue playing a lot more Esports Godfather. Like finished the playoffs, went to the new series and that. It does get harder.
That's good.
There's
you and Zach will also enjoy to hear that.
There's what felt like a very significant step up in difficulty in the next league, which fun to see because it started to feel like you actually had to think about it instead of just playing whatever.
Yeah.
Which I am glad that I started to hit that point. And I played a little bit more into that, but then I've kind of just been bouncing all over the place.
Yeah. I definitely feel that. That's been me. I've been bouncing through a lot of different games. Even popped back on college football revamp the other day too. Played like an hour, having it back on. But I did hop on it briefly. So I feel you. I've been hopping all over the place too. It's just that weird state right now of where it's like I'm so immensely excited for a couple games to come out. Like I can't find myself to stop and play something in the moment, you know? Because I'm so excited for Black Myth Wukong. I'm so excited for College Football 25, and that's all my brain's been able to think of. I've been watching videos, like rewatching trailers and stuff, and I'm just excited. I'm very excited for Black Myth, man. Jesus Christ! I know we gushed about it last week, but I can't stress enough how excited I am for that damn game. Especially because I think we're confirmed to be getting some more stuff.
I was going to say we're probably about to get some more information. So
yeah.
if you're tired of hearing about Black Myth Wukong,
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna apologize in advance
That's
for
gonna be,
whenever we get our next trailer.
That's gonna be the show. That's gonna be the highlight of Summer Game Fest, bro. Let me tell you.
That's gonna be the talking point for
know.
the full episode.
I know.
It's gonna be a 4-minute trailer.
Basically, dude, it's all we need, man. Just give us Black Myth and we're good. I will say I'm pretty excited for Summer Game Fest.
I don't know. I will say I don't know if it's just you. Black Myth is showing up on my timelines everywhere.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
I think it's starting to pick up steam.
Good. It needs to. And you know, if there is another trailer, like at Summer Game Fest, I think it's going to take off like a rocket.
Oh yeah,
It's going to take off like a rocket. I just have that feeling, man.
well, that's when the first reveal of Elden Ring
Yeah.
was there, which is because like there were rumblings of it and people had heard about it, and there were some people real excited for it. But it wasn't until it was showing off at Summer Games Fest where everyone went, "Yes."
Oh yeah, because that was the ending trailer, and it was when Jeff was like, "It's finally time." I think is what he said. That's right. I remember.
That was what he was like.
I remember.
That's what he was like. I can't believe I get to reveal this.
Yeah. That dude gets all the connections, bro. Like, just mad respect, man. I'm super excited to see what's going to be the close this year. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really pumped for that. I can't even imagine what it would be. It'd have to be a new game
I think
reveal.
it's gonna be something dumb.
Oh, please don't say that. Don't give us a dud year.
No, not as in like dud dumb. It's gonna be something like people will be happy with it, but we're gonna sit there and go, not what I expected.
That's fair. Okay.
That's
fair.
that's kind of what I mean when I say dumb. I'm like, we're just gonna sit there and go, why did we not call this?
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's fair. Either way, I'm excited for it. I did also say, and we'll segue this into the state of play. I did see, that Sony will be revealing some more stuff in the Summer Game Fest period.
I would hope so.
I would hope so too. But it's like I would hope so. But the sad part is we're just saying I would hope so because of how lackluster the state of play was. Like, I mean, it's your state of play. This is where you should reveal the big stuff and give the small stuff to Summer Game Fest.
But also, it's like everybody's kind of becoming Nintendo where we get like 2 or 3 showcases a year.
Yeah.
And where it's like, and we don't hear about anything else in between. It's like, we want to see stuff.
Yeah. I mean, we're about to be 5 years into the console generations. Like, come on, we need to see some. What has everyone been doing? Everyone, I'm not just calling out Sony. I'm calling out everyone. We need what have we been doing across the board?
The problem is you can't necessarily call out Sony because for the past couple years we've gotten big hitter after big hitter.
I mean, we have gotten a couple big hitters, but
it's like we probably won't. I mean, I don't expect like a massive hitter from them this year, just purely based on like the last couple years where we get the Spider-Man 2, we get the God of War Ragnarok. It's like, I mean, what are we going to be getting from that? We know they're cooking on their new stuff,
right,
or they're working on stuff right now, but they take a while to get those out to us.
Yeah,
which is why we like them.
Right, correct. See, I don't want stuff to come faster. I just want to know what's going on. That's all I want.
Yeah, it's like what's happening besides your 2 big hitter studios right here.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Like that's kind of the main thing.
Yeah.
I did also see something involving. This is just one of their studios that, let's not forget, we're about to be able to find out the fate of Bungie here soon. I saw a YouTube video I thought was pretty funny of where one guy took it upon himself, and it's like an 1.5 hour long video of just detailing everything you need to know about Destiny 2, that is, so you can skip everything and just go to the new game, like the new expansion. I'm like, man, you're a legend. You're a legend.
The alternative would be
just don't play it.
Just when a new game comes out, to just play the new game and go, that other stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's also true, which is basically how I take any time I go back to Destiny 2. Because I've gone back to Destiny 2, I think 3 or 4 times. I've tried to go back to it, and every time I don't give a fuck about the old stuff. I barely give a fuck about the new stuff. I just want to play the game because the gameplay's fun. Like, I'm just keeping it real. The gameplay's fun. Like, I'm so lost in the story, I don't give a shit anymore.
But yeah, I mean, there's something to be said for that, but also there's something to be said for the fact that you can't necessarily just come back to it out of nowhere because it's so convoluted. You can't figure out what's happening.
Correct. Give us Destiny 3. Like, just get it over with. Hopefully the final shape is the final expansion. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyway. All right, let's jump into the state of play. This was a thing. This was a show. It was a 30-minute experience or 35-minute experience. I guess is the right way to put it.
It ended, and I didn't know it was ending.
Yeah,
it just
I do agree to that. Yeah,
it's like it just cut off, and I was like, "Oh, I guess it's over."
Yeah, because me and you were messaging, and I even said, "Oh, I guess that was the final showcase, the final trailer." Okay.
Yeah, because I was like waiting on something to pop up, and the stream just cut off.
Yeah,
and I was like, "Wait a second,
right?
What happened here?"
Man, all right. So the big thing to talk about right out of the gate is what came right out of the gate, and that being Concord. All right. So first off, let me lay the foundation. All right. So we knew.
Okay. Before we get going on this, I didn't know what this was.
Okay.
I had no. I didn't remember ever hearing anything or seeing anything on this game. I had no idea what this was. So my first introduction to it is hearing the name Concord. And then the trailer that they presented before, like the gameplay showcase. Now you can continue.
Yeah. You know, just off the top, this being Sony's new IP from Firewalker Studios, which is made up by a bunch of industry vets. It's a trademark studio that we see all the time that gets formed. This is their first game. And let me stress, it doesn't look like a bad developed game, but it also does at the same time. But like they've got so much confidence in this game to take up 10 minutes of the showcase, 6 minutes of all cinematics, all just to lead into a 5v5 hero shooter.
Okay, the initial trailer, having not known anything about this game.
Yep.
With the cinematic trailer, like with them kind of like introducing characters, showing the personality, kind of setting up world building and stuff like that. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh man, I could be fucking down for this game. This is, it's like, I'm digging these characters. This world seems pretty cool. As soon as they said the words 5v5 shooter, I clocked out.
Yep.
At that moment in time, I was like, I don't care anymore.
Yep.
That's not what it's like. Granted, people going into this maybe that knew more about it or looked it up or did some research on it probably were like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be a 5v5 shooter game. Me just experiencing, because like I like to experience some of these showcases. Like sometimes, like we'll research into them. We pretty much know what's coming up. Mm-hmm. We have an idea of what the games are going to be just from like rumors, leaks, things like that.
Yep.
Certain showcases I like to go to, and I'm like, let's just watch it and see what happens. This was one of those where I'm like, I'm not going to pay too much attention to it. I just kind of want to see what it is. So I'm kind of like, they're getting me excited. And then immediately, like, why? Okay, here's the big question. Why are we showing two different, like, I'm assuming 5v5 team-based shooters?
In the same
showcase,
and one of them is
apart,
and one of them is your IP, and one of them's not your IP, and the one that's not your IP looks so much better. Like that baffled me.
Yeah. So yeah, Concord is going to be a 5v5 like hero shooter. It looks like. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Once they said 5v5 shooter, I stopped paying attention until the next game showed up.
Yeah.
So I didn't watch too much of the gameplay on this, but. Because immediately, like, I don't care.
Yeah. See, I like hero shooters. You know, when we did our favorite genres topic, whatever, I mentioned that. I like hero shooters. I do think they're fun. But this one, I don't know what about it. Just it did not interest me at all. Like there are some aspects about it, like with the character, the cinematic and stuff. It's like, okay, yeah, this can be somewhat interesting. I feel like we went way too heavy-handed in the cinematic where it almost set it up like how you were getting excited, where I thought this was going to be a different experience. I didn't know it was a 5v5 hero shooter going into. I knew it was a multiplayer game. That's all I knew.
I think I can pinpoint where you may have gotten thrown off with it.
Okay.
This is a 5v5 shooter. the character select menu that they showed us had about 11 people on it.
That's fair.
So in the gameplay showcase, we saw the 5 people from the cinematic trailer, and that was it.
Yep.
So you basically just saw the same 5 characters facing off against the same 5 characters.
Yep.
And then we got a slider with like 10, 11 characters. Maybe there was more than that, but it wasn't a lot of characters to pick from on there. Mm-hmm. And you look at it and you go, that's enough to barely fill out where teams can have different people on each side.
Yep.
And like the large shift from the trailer where it's kind of this quippy like group of people like trying to duck around and escape and get away in that, and then we jump into just standard looking hero shooter that Overwatch Light is what it looked like.
Yeah, I feel it's like Overwatch like, and it's also got, like, in my opinion, a lot of Guardians of the Galaxy inspiration, like a lot of Guardians vibes in my opinion. Like, I don't even mean just the game. I just mean just the general franchise that is Guardians of the Galaxy. I got a lot of vibes from that. And I think that's also, I think you are pinpointing where it kind of like threw me off a bit. It's because, like, even though I knew it was a multiplayer game going into it, I'm watching this cinematic, and by the time the cinematic's done and we jump into the gameplay and it's like it's a 5v5 hero shooter or whatever, I almost get the feeling where it's like, man, I wish this was something else.
Yeah.
Like, I really do.
The cinematic was a fantastic cinematic to show me like an RPG or an adventure type game, or even just like maybe not even like an RPG or anything like that, but to show me a game where you pick people and you're fighting through like a city or something like that, other than just like a standard shooter. Mm-hmm. That's not the type of game that the cinematic trailer led me to believe it was going to be. I was expecting something that would lead me to have some adventure.
Yeah.
There's no adventure to be had in what they showed.
Yeah, no, 100%. And it's like the only sense of like any adventure they're going to throw is these weekly cinematic things they're going to add to the game. Did you catch that part? Nope. Where it's, yeah, because you checked out. So like they're going to be adding like a weekly video to the game of a certain character. And it's just like, did you want this to be a single player game, and is Sony forcing you to make it multiplayer? Like, blink 3 times if you need help. Like, I'm so confused by the approach of this whole thing.
The thing is,
that to me also says they're really trying to like emulate Overwatch, with how Overwatch had like all of their like standalone videos, but they weren't part of the game. That was just YouTube videos.
I was gonna say I haven't looked at the reception to a lot of this showcase, so I don't know people's general I don't know the general opinion on it.
So I can tell you this.
For people.
Overall, the showcase itself, very bad. For this particular reveal, I did include it on our thumbnail because our thumbnail is Concord and Astrobot, and just the sheer difference between the two. So I did actually go and screenshot the like-dislike on YouTube for both. So for Concord, when I screenshot it this morning, they had 3.9K likes and 34,000 dislikes. And then on the flip side, Astrobot had 36,000 likes and 453 dislikes.
Okay, I was going to say there might have been people out there that enjoyed this showcase or like this Concord thing and was like, oh, cool, new shooter, new team-based shooter in that. Never mind.
Yeah. No, 4,000 likes on the standalone video for it. 34,000 dislikes. Jesus Christ. And like, you know, I see that reception of it. I don't see anyone being positive about it. And again, it's like they're taking so much time of the showcase to try to really push this, and no one likes it. No one gives a shit. What up, Zach? How's it going?
Concord.
I'll play. If it's free, I'll play it.
It's not gonna be free.
Did you actually watch the showcase?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
if it's a free to play, I'll play it. If it's like $20, I'll play it.
I'm used to you just saying no to that.
I actually thought you were gonna say no too. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I mean, I wouldn't have, but I just happened to look at my computer and went, "Oh, that's happening today." Sure.
Okay, that's fair. You were off. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, depending on the price point, you know what I mean? The price point will determine on if I'll give it a shot.
It's 20 or under,
$75.
Man, I do think it's going to be a full price game.
Probably will be.
I really do. Even with all the severe backlash of it, I think it's going to be a $70 game. which it's like I feel like they're just sending this game out to die. Like I feel like it's dead on arrival.
I mean, Foam Stars died.
Foam Stars. Foam Stars should have been free to play and multi-plat.
I feel like Concord, the only way it would have a chance is if it goes out at a $30 price point.
Yeah,
So I think the only way it'd have a chance if it's free to play or
I
comes
mean,
with PlayStation Plus.
I mean, realistically, yes, but I'm assuming they're going to put a price tag on it, and I don't think anybody's paying $70 for this game.
Probably not.
no. Do you think it could have a chance if they put it at the same price point that Helldivers 2 was?
No.
Because Helldivers 2 is
No.
only $40, I think.
No, nobody wants this game,
I mean, I agree.
and it's not the fault of the developers or anything. It's just nobody cares about a 5v5 shooter right now.
Yeah.
Other than Marvel Rivals.
That was the other thing. It's that we. Why are you putting both of them on the same showcase? Save one of them for Summer Games Fest if you
Yeah.
want to just throw something out there.
'Cause-
To draw hype to get people to sign up for that beta. Well,
Yeah,
don't
I
even
mean,
got to sign up. It's open.
Well, so first and foremost, like we totally called that. Hey, the console announcement was going to be later. So we called that at the original reveal. But it's like I mentioned to Zach, mentioned to John, sorry, before you got here, where it's just like you have two hero shooters in the same showcase. One of them's your IP and one of them's not. And the one that's not your IP looks so much better. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't understand putting Marvel Rivals in your showcase.
I mean, I could understand if because as y'all said, if they were banging so much on it that they gave it so much time of just being like, showing off their hero shooter and then just throwing Marvel Rivals after to sort of do a comparison of trying to be like, yeah, we hyped up ours, now let's just throw the other one out there to not get as much time because people are talking about Concord now, not expecting the reception that Concord got.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the other thing is they put them two. If you want to do that, like put them both in there. I get your perspective where you're like, yeah, maybe show the difference of how they look in that. If you're gonna put them on the same showcase, you got to put them at the beginning
Spread
and the
'em out.
end. Put them as far away so people forget about it.
I think the main reason it just had to be part of the showcase because they just had to make sure to throw in the extra, like the Scarlet Spider suit, PlayStation 5 exclusive outfit for
Yeah.
Spider-Man. I saw that. I'm like, okay, I guess I understand why it's
Yeah.
in there then.
I mean, the only thing I liked about the Rivals trailer, other than the console, was that it showed off some more team attacks and just.
True.
Since I haven't been enjoying the test, I'm very confused how team attacks work
Yeah.
because all I know is Punisher and Rocket can go on a Italian style gun spree.
Love that. Love that combo.
Scarlet Witch,
And
Magneto, and
yep.
then can do some.
Which
tomfoolery.
that one makes sense being a combo because it's,
Yeah.
father and daughter or whatever. But the Punisher Rocket one, that's just funny combo. I don't know if they have interactions in the comics, but if they do,
They
that's
do.
awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, the fact that they just went full Italian, just started gunning everything down.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Spider-Man and Venom, I think, had one.
it was Spider-Man, Venom, and I think Penny,
that makes sense.
and all three of them combined in one Spider-Man, and he just went ape shit on people.
Yeah. Also got to see Star-Lord's ult, which is literally just Reaper.
Yep.
Literally just
Well, no,
Reaper.
that was actually a combo tap.
Oh, because that was combo. Okay.
it was him plus two other people as well.
Okay. All right. But it was literally just Reaper.
Yeah, yeah. I literally went, oh, he became Reaper.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's exactly what happened. I'm like, all right, whatever. No, the Marvel Rivals trailer did look pretty sick. I hope to get in the closed beta. When was that again? That was
Well, it's open beta.
I thought it said closed beta.
I'm pretty sure it's at open.
Well, either way, beta in July. So next month. I don't know if it's closed or I thought it was closed, but it could be open. I don't know. Either way, if it's closed, hopefully I get in. If it's open, I'm fucking playing it. I thought it looked great. I'm excited for it. I'm still really excited for the game personally. Unlike Concord though. Concord just I don't know. I feel like they're sending the game out, and I feel like it's dead on arrival, which sucks because it's a brand new studio. This is their first game. So I feel for the studio, man. I feel for the studio for real. Like
I mean, I like the characters.
again, it makes you like seeing like the cinematic trailer they went for and everything, and it like really makes you kind of yearn that it was a different game. You know what I mean? Like I feel like it'd been better off as a different game,
Maybe they're pulling an Omega.
or maybe or Evercore swap up that
Yeah.
game completely. You never know. I don't know.
It's a closed beta.
Is it closed? Okay. I
Okay.
thought it said open.
Is Concord, was it slated to come out this year? Did they
I think
say?
so. I think it said 2024.
Oh, buddy.
The stuff at the beginning of the showcase was 2024 stuff,
Yeah.
and at the end was 2025.
Okay. Ooh, buddy. Can't wait to see that launch. At least it's day and date with PC, so who knows? Maybe it'll have a little bit of life. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Speaking of PC, the next thing they showed was the Ragnarok PC port coming out in September. Shout out to that. Gotta have a PSN account, though.
I saw an article about this that just like I hated the way that they phrased it. I don't remember who it was from, but it said God of War Ragnarok requires PlayStation account to play, showing they didn't learn anything from Helldivers. I'm like, no, they're just being much more upfront and
About it.
telling you you have to have it.
They
Everyone
did
else
learn from Helldivers.
It's like everyone else is very upfront and open about the fact that you have to have it and requires you from the beginning, and that's what they learned. We have to do it from the beginning and force it to happen.
Yep. I will say that the PC ports they're doing for new games, it's coming out a little bit faster. Not fast, but it's coming out a little bit faster. So I guess shout out to that.
I don't think it's going to be much quicker than the turnaround for Ragnarok, though.
I agree.
Probably not.
I think at Sony they still expect PC players to buy console. To play the exclusive instead of just being like, it'll come eventually.
Okay, I'm so glad you said that because it reminded me of something that I meant to add to the script and I forgot. It was they had like the introductory like press conference with the two new presidents, which I don't remember the name of the guy that is handling the hardware side of things. But they split Jim Ryan's position up into two spots. One guy handles all the hardware side and shit like that, and then you have Herman Holst, over Gorilla, whatever, over PlayStation Studios now, who handles all the software stuff. And Herman mentioned in his interview process that when it came to the single player narrative experiences, they do not really have plans to do day and date release because they still want to push people to go buy a PlayStation 5 and play it there. So basically what you just said is exactly their strategy. So you're right. I don't think it's not going to get much faster.
Yeah. Like, I mean, it gives they think PC players are going to change, and it's just not going to happen.
Yeah,
it's not going to happen. It's like you make us wait a year, or you make all the PC players wait a year to buy it on Steam or wherever. They'll wait that out because they want to buy it on PC because they want to play it as its experience, and then they want to mod the piss out of it.
Oh yeah, 100%. It has to be a very special game to push someone to get the console. Which also shout out to Jacob because he's a funny example. He didn't break on God of War Ragnarok. He didn't break on Spider-Man 2. He broke on fucking college football and he just picked up a PS5 recently. So shout out to that. But like most PC players, you're right. They're not going to break.
That's just the excuse game used so that he could play the other games.
Yeah, he is playing Spider-Man 2 right now. So he finally cracked. So shout out. But you're right. Like they're going to wait it out, man. They're gonna, as like when I talked to Jacob, like I don't know, a couple months after Spider-Man 2 dropped, and I was telling him how great. I was asking him like, man, are you gonna get a PS5 and play it? He's just like, man, I'm thinking about it, but I think I'll just wait for PC, man. I just want to play it on PC, so I'll just wait for that. So you're right, PC players are not gonna change, but anyway. So the next thing we got was a new Dynasty Warriors Origins. So. You excited for that one?
That was the best thing about this showcase.
I was going to say, it started coming. I saw it start to show up. I went, Zach's got something to talk about.
Yep.
I was watching it. I went first. I was like, oh, it's something in Chinese. And I started seeing more. I was like, this looks like Dynasty Warriors. Is this Dynasty Warriors?
I had a moment where it's like they were doing an overhead shot of the armies and like the battlements and that. And I went, is this Total War? And then I went, and then they started zooming in. I went, Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah, that's exactly the moment I had. I was like, this looks like Dynasty Warriors, but it doesn't look like Dynasty Warriors. Then it finally zoomed in on the one guy. I was like, it's Dynasty Warriors.
Yeah. It was like as soon as the camera started coming in, I went, oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, Koei Tecmo and Omega Force is doing something weird with Dynasty Warriors again. Seems like it's very going to be heavily story-based this time around, focusing on one character versus the traditional focusing on each of the stories of each of the factions that resided during the Three Kingdoms era. Mm-hmm. So I'll be curious to see what they do, seeing as the open world they failed miserably at. mean, straight up. I mean, they filled the
Yeah.
open world because with Empires, I mean, the open world was still there, but you never had to interact with it in Empires if you didn't have to, if you didn't want to.
Yeah. It was just there to be there.
Correct.
Yep.
They didn't figure it out. 9 was very meh with the whole open world aspect. So now they're going on a more focused character storyline, which I'm curious where they're going to go with this.
Mm.
I mean, if it's anything like what they've done with the Samurai Warriors, I mean, should be fine. But even with the most recent Samurai Warriors of 4, it was still, oh no, it wasn't 4, it was 5. It was still created maps that you had limits of where you could go and do stuff on. Versus this, it seems almost like they're taking a aspect of FF16 in my mind, because it almost looks more action adventure than beat 'em up armies.
Right. The next like numbered game for Dynasty Warriors, it would be 10, right?
Correct.
Are you shocked that they're doing like an Origins versus
Nope.
a 10? Okay, because like I saw some comments on Twitter about that, where I saw some people just like, I'm kind of shocked they're not just doing Dynasty Warriors 10 and they're doing this Origins thing instead. So I was kind of curious your thoughts.
Breaking news: Tomb Raider's getting an anime.
Yeah, I saw that, and Haley Atwell's voicing
Yep.
Lara Croft. Shout out to that.
No, I'm not really surprised because in recent years they have been doing a lot of spin-offs in between, because like there was quite a bit of time gap in between 8 and 9. And I mean, besides getting, did 8 get Empires? I don't even remember if 8 got Empires. I think it did. There was like a couple spin-offs in between there as well. I would have to double check exactly what they were, but I mean, I'm not surprised they did a spin-off.
Okay. I also didn't. Well, I also didn't like look in hard dig to confirm this, but I think it might be a PS5 exclusive. I don't know. I don't know. Like that was kind of the indication I got
It
from.
made
Like
it seem like it based on the trailer, but I don't remember at the end seeing whether it had any other logos or platforms on it.
yeah, like from the showcase trailer, no, it didn't. And like doing follow up of like all extra like tidbits of news and stuff. Like I saw the Xbox announcement for Marvel Rivals. I saw the Xbox announcement for Path of Exile. I didn't see anything for Dynasty Warriors from Xbox. I may have missed it. It may have not been in my timeline, but I don't know. It could be a PS5 exclusive, so that's something to take a look at, though, but coming out next year. Then we have Infinity Nikki, which is an open-world RPG by a former Zelda director.
Second best game in this showcase.
This is
Open-world dress-up
honestly
adventure.
one of the better things that was shown off.
I'm going to be honest. I really don't care about the genre, but it looked fantastic.
It did look fantastic.
I started checking out at the beginning of this because I was like, nah, I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna be interested in this. By the time the trailer finished, I was like, I'm probably gonna check this out.
I mean, hey, former Zelda director's working on it, man. Open-world dress-up adventure. There's a bit. I did think it was interesting. There's a beta test for it. It's like a beta test in Q3. It's like okay, yeah. I could be wrong on this, but I don't see a lot of beta tests for single player games. So that's where I kind of was like, that's different. I guess at least for me. Maybe I've missed it. Maybe that's a common thing. I don't know. I don't feel like it's a common thing.
Normally, we just call those demos.
I mean, that was my thought too. Is just a demo. So maybe they just mean a demo, but it specified beta test in Q3. I'm like, that's a weird terminology for this, but whatever. We got a trailer for Where the Winds Meet, which I think was revealed at like Summer Game Fest last year. So I think this is just like a follow-up trailer to it. Ballad of Antara. It's a free-to-play dark fantasy action RPG. So the developer's goal for this is they're aiming to achieve the highest fidelity possible on the console. So whatever this game is going to be, like, you know, obviously dark fantasy action RPG, whatever, but whatever, like the story narrative and stuff, whatever they're aiming to really accomplish for the game, I feel like this is all they really want to do is they want to finally be like, you know what? We're 5 years into this damn generation and no one has pushed these consoles to the limit. I'm pushing this console to the limit. Like that's kind of the vibe that I got from that when they said that, you know, they're just trying to achieve the highest fidelity possible.
Yeah.
It's like someone's like, our goal is just to push the console to the absolute limit, which if that's the case, all right, that's pretty cool. I'll be looking forward to seeing what it actually is and what it actually does. So that's cool. Coming out next year. And then we got a couple of, you know, good old VR games that look like VR games. But Behemoth actually looks fun. I mean, I think that was revealed last year. And I remember, I think the trailer was at one point, like whoever was playing it was just mercilessly like just beating a skeleton on the ground for like a solid 8 seconds just for shits and gigs. But that is coming out in October. And then Alien Rogue Excursion, which I think an Alien game makes sense to be in VR.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's fine, but it's still just like last time we got to see some VR games, whatever. Like we had the same comment of where it looks like a VR game, and it's still the case here. It looks like a VR game. Got another trailer for Until Dawn coming out this fall, so that's really exciting on that. And then Path of Exile 2.
I was just gonna say, like, Until Dawn is like, I cannot believe it's 2024 and we're still releasing this game.
Because it's a great game.
It was a good story.
I know, but
I think there's even going to be a movie on it.
I know, but this is one of those games where it's getting kind of funny how often it gets released.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I love Until Dawn.
I mean, I'll
play it again.
I'm surprised we don't got a double feature of Until Dawn and
Corey.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
See, that would have made more sense. A combo pack here would have made more sense to me.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it is a great game, but it is still one of those where it started playing and I went, still doing this, huh?
Yep. Hey, we're going to keep beating that horse,
Remember,
man.
this is the second announcement of this one for this new generation of
Yep.
this version. So
Yep. Like I said, I'm excited for it. I love Until Dawn. I think it's a great game to sit down and play. What about Path 2? You excited for Path 2? How you feeling
Nope.
about it? Not excited.
Not excited
He's
anymore.
the Path guy.
Not excited anymore. It's taking a long time.
It has taken a while. It has taken a long time.
The date for the beta for Path of Exile 2 has changed a bunch of times. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's finally going to come out. Am I excited for it? No. Am I going to play it? Yes.
At least he's honest.
It's like I'm not excited for it anymore.
ship sailed.
I've been watching trailers and gameplay for Path of Exile 2 for 2 years. Mm-hmm. It's like they're constantly, like every few months, it feels like they're showing us more information on it and telling us more about the game. Yeah, at this point we just want to play the game. We want to get a feel for how it plays, what the differences are. So I'm not gonna get excited for it. It seems like it's gonna be kind of a slower pace game, which I'm all for. Mm-hmm. But yeah, the beta will come out. I'll give it a try. I'll see if I enjoy it.
Yeah, early access later this year. So can't wait to hear your thoughts on it later this year. Because I know you'll play it. I know you'll play it immediately, and we'll hear your thoughts and if you love it or hate it. Then we had another trailer for Silent Hill 2 Remake with an actual release date.
Remakes.
I'm
gonna be a hypocrite in a little bit.
oh yeah. Because when it comes to this remake, watch it get nominated for Game of the Year.
That pissed me off.
I can't wait to hear your reaction on that one. But finally got a release date for it, though, October 8th. So that's good. Perfect time for that game to launch in October. And then got a pretty good trailer for Monster Hunter Wilds. So, John, what'd you think about this?
I really like this trailer.
Okay.
This looks really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, trailer kind of answered some questions we were wondering about, kind of weapons, how the open world would work, and that. One of the more interesting things that we saw in the trailer was like monsters roaming in packs and trying to lead them out of the pack so you could fight it on its own, which really cool idea. Wondering how much of that is going to be actual play case, where like you do have to lead them away or try to fight like 3 of the same monster at once, which could be interesting. A lot of the fights looked really cool that they showed off. Some of the weapon interactions were real cool. Probably the most notable change that I think it was the ability to swap to a secondary.
Yeah, I saw that little tidbit.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing from this,
That is-
because this is the first time in the entire game series,
that
which is
is
exceptional.
That is a fucking game changer.
By far it is.
Because I would say most people with Monster Hunter, they have their main weapon. It's their weapon they're going to start with, they're going to play with most of the time. When given the option, they're going to play with that weapon. sometimes that weapon doesn't work too great against certain monsters, so you always have to have a backup. If you could just have both of them with you at the same time and just swap between them,
Fantastic.
it's such a big quality of life update.
I also saw where apparently every weapon type in the series is making a return.
Yep. That'll be fun.
That's a shitload of weapons.
Yeah, 14 is what I saw.
Is it just 14?
Yep.
That's what they said. At least that's what the post that I saw say.
Well, that's what I was wondering because I hadn't looked into the all the weapons that were like clocked as being in there.
I mean, I'm pretty sure 14 sounds right. I mean, I think there's been some variations.
Well, it depends on if you go all the way back to some of the older games because there's been more iterations on like some of the gun weapons. There's been I think there's been additional like melee weapons in that. And I think there's 14 weapons in World.
I'd have to double check on that.
It was about like 12 to 14 weapons in World. So I don't know if it's.
Then they may just be using the main weapons and not all the variations.
It might be all the classical weapons have been brought back.
Because I did notice, at least in the little bit of gameplay, it looked like it was a heavy bowgun was a different version than what we got in Worlds.
See, I saw that too. That I wasn't sure if it's a heavy bowgun because I know some of the older like handheld games had a medium bowgun.
Yeah,
I was wondering if that was the case.
That's what I was thinking, or if it was a rifle variation. Because I mean, it seemed like a heavy bowgun to me, but its play style was different.
Yeah. I will say, like the weapons that they showed off, very cool.
Yes, I did like the design of the new longsword.
It's like I loved what the weapons look like. Every like the combat that they showed, very very cool. I'm wondering what the speed of combat's gonna be. If it's gonna be more World or Rise.
I would hope more World. I'm gonna be honest.
I don't know. I like the speed and fluid. In my opinion, Monster Hunter World is the better game.
Yeah.
Rise had the better combat.
I understand. I mean,
without take all the wire bug shit away.
well, unfortunately, that's coming back. A new version of it is.
Well, I was gonna say if you take all the wire bug stuff out of it,
the hook slinger,
and just take like the fluidity of the Rise combat, it felt smoother in Rise than it did in World.
Yeah, World is definitely more clunkier.
But I mean, either way, it's like you just give me an improved version of the World combat with. And I will say, I don't know what I would want it to be. I'm hoping there's a new weapon announcement. I want something different, but I don't know what it would be.
I mean, we may get one. I mean, because in terms of everything we saw with the herds and whatnot, it does look like combat might be on a slightly bigger scale in comparison than what we have been with Worlds, Iceborne, and Rise. So if it is a slightly bigger scale in terms of what we would be fighting at a time with the whole horde aspects and then maybe possibly nest and whatnot with different types of creatures, I would hope that combat is a bit more fluid like Rise. Because otherwise, fighting hordes of monsters is going to be a pain in the ass, especially in open lands.
Oh, yeah. And especially with like some of the weather effects that we saw with like sandstorms and stuff like that.
Yeah. Because they've really been pushing that, because we even saw some of that in the first just announcement trailer.
Yeah, like we saw the aspect of it, but now we got the confirmation that that's just going to be there.
Yeah.
So it's going to be something to deal with, which will make it very interesting.
Yeah, especially if we have a other biome besides just the sort of badlands, wasteland, sands, deserts we've seen.
Yeah, and we know at least, or we should know at least that there's going to be. The desert will have its own underground section. Yeah. We did get to see the monsters falling through the sand hole.
Yeah.
And being taken down. So
imagine that hunt, John. You're down in the underground and you're in the middle of a fight and a sand hole opens above you and just drops them on top of you. Imagine that encounter.
Like I said,
it said transform in unexpected ways, so that would be unexpected.
Like I said earlier, I'm wondering how much of that, like having to lead a monster away to fight it, I wonder how much of that is going to be like have
Necessary?
to actually do and be necessary, because that's the big question. Is because they showed that there where there's a pack of 3 and you lead one away and fight it. I mean, in Rise and in World, there were only 3 or 4 monsters on the map at the same time.
Yeah.
You could only have a couple of them. How many are we going to have on the map at once?
I mean, as I said, from everything they've shown, it's very much looking like larger scale. And in that specific instance, also, it was a whole thing, looked story based and had something to do with like almost like an alpha, which is probably a stronger version of.
Oh yeah, that was definitely a story hunt mission.
Yeah. I mean, so my other thing would be is how common is going to be these like sort of alpha, stronger type version of the monster is going to be.
Well, it's like, yeah, I'm wondering if that's going to be like a region-specific thing that they're doing with this game. Because historically, there's, like, you play through the story, you're, like, you play through the early game, then you play through the, I forget the levels that they call it.
Yeah.
But essentially, there's the beginning hunts, and then as you play through the story, you kind of reach a halfway point, and then you go into the later hunts, which is usually this, like, stronger tier monsters. And then when you get through there and you kind of get towards the end of the story, you go into the late game hunts. And then you have to go through all those. And that's when you start encountering some of the more classical, like dangerous enemies or the variant enemies as they start going up. And then you end up in like the super master tier where all the crazy shit happens. But I'm wondering, it would be very interesting if there was like a sort of just like alpha that roamed around, or like if you were in the middle of it, they like the one that leads them shows up to fight you. That'd be interesting.
Or in the middle of fighting the alpha, if you haven't like pulled away enough, it just calls the rest of the pack back to it.
That would be real interesting. And then you have that moment where you're fighting like 3 or 4 of them at once, and they're all trying to get you while that one's trying to run away.
Yeah.
I don't know. Looks fantastic.
It does look very good.
2025.
Yep.
I did also see where it's going to be fully voiced for the first time ever. So shout out to that. Seamless flow between story and gameplay. New mounts, apparently some new focus mode, and then like Zach kind of alluded to earlier, got this new hook slinger item. So I guess it's like the replacement for whatever that other one, the wire bug, whatever.
Or the slinger that was in Worlds.
Yeah. World had the slinger, and then they had like I forget what. It's like the hook shot slinger or something that came out with Iceborne. I don't know. They every new expansion or something adds you a new
gadget
to deal with.
I just need my Kinsect blades, man.
Let me see something real quick.
Is that your weapon of choice?
Dual blades, Kinsect. Yeah, those are my 2 go-to.
I kind of changed around when I played through Rise and did all that. I was a gun lance player.
Okay.
Use that when I went back to World and played through pretty much all of World. It's like sword and shield.
That's fair.
Sword and shield is just something about just the speed and fluidity of it.
See, I just like Kinsect blade because I just enjoy bouncing up in the air the entire time.
See, that was the thing. I never understood what I was doing.
That's me with every monster.
It was the first weapon I ever tried. And I went, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah,
right
that's not a good beginner weapon, John.
He was feeling spicy.
World was my first.
Yeah, that's why I know that.
And it's like I tried to go with the glaive at first, and I went, I'm flying around, but I'm not doing anything. Then I tried to go like heavy bowgun, and I was like, this is
slightly better.
It's still a terrible way to try to learn how to play the game.
I mean, it is. Because heavy bowgun has so much to go to that you actually need to do with it.
Yeah, you gotta know how to fight stuff before you pick that up as your weapon.
Oh, that's funny. No, 2025 for it, boys. That's pretty exciting. I wonder if it's gonna be. I wonder what time next year, but whatever time next year it comes out, it's definitely gonna be a Game of the Year contender next year.
Let's say Q2.
I would say I'd say before summer. So yeah.
Q2 sounds right. That would be my guess too. Let's see. Then they ended with Astrobot, which been wondering when we were going to get a new Astro game for a little while now. Actually got a release date. It's pretty soon.
It popped up and went, oh, there's that Sony mascot I don't know anything about.
No.
You described this perfectly to me in a message. I think you said it was This is just Sony Mario.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
And then I was watching it after I read that from you, and I went, yeah, it really is.
Yeah, no, honestly, it gives a lot of Mario Galaxy vibes. Not only because of the obvious, 6 galaxies to go to, expanding over 80 levels. Just like, I'm talking just the general gameplay vibe. Reminds me of Super Mario Galaxy. Like, I saw some people make jokes where it's just like, Nintendo won't make Super Mario Galaxy 3, so Sony said, fuck it, I'll do it myself. And I'm just like, I could see that. No, I mean, this game actually looks pretty sick. And, there was an Astro game a few years ago. I forgot what it was called on, like, the PS4, I think. And it reviewed really well. It got, like, a 90 on Metacritic and shit like that. And then you had Astro's Playroom, which was literally only designed to show you what the controller can do. Like, it was a game, yes, but they were, like, the only purpose for the game was it comes pre-installed with your PS5. And it shows you what all your DualSense can do. That's all the game is, and people freaking loved it. So it's just like, okay, when are they going to make like another Astro? When is Sony and is going to let Team Asobi go all in on Astro as a character and try to make it almost like a little mascot for him, like like a Mario? Like, just make it like their Mario. That's all they have to do, and they've done it. Astrobot, like, the more I've watched this, the more I think this game looks sick. Like, I know it's not for you, John.
Well,
but like it looks sick.
It's not necessarily for me, but just based off the trailer and that. Because when does this game come out? Does it come
September.
out September? As long as it comes out and it plays as good as it looks,
Yeah.
there's a decent chance that Sony's going to win the Nintendo category at Game of the Year this year.
The family game. Yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I think the game looks sick. Like, I know it's not necessarily either of you guys' cup of tea, really. At least, Zach, I don't think this would be your cup of tea.
No.
Okay, I thought so. Like, I think the game looks sick, man. I'm actually looking forward to playing this.
Yeah, this is one that looks great, but I'm not going to play.
Yeah. Also, really excited just the amount of, like, cameos that's going to be in this thing. The trailer already really, like, hit home with that. With Astro trying to pick up Kratos' axe. I thought that was awesome. So I'm just like, man, are we going to get like other weapons? Are we going to get like, because Ratchet's in the trailer. They're trying to save Ratchet. Are we going to get like his wrench? Like, dude,
you're gonna get every big hitter that Sony has. In this game.
Probably.
I know, the last shot had like Kratos, had Aloy, Ratchet was there. Nathan Drake was there.
Think Kingdom Hearts.
Yes.
And then that's what this is going to be for Sony with all of their franchises.
Hey, this is perfect for Sony. Sony needs this. You know what I mean? Sony needs this type of game, man. So I'm excited for this one. Honestly, I am. Tons of unique environments and plants and stuff. Like, I'm excited for this one. September 6th. It does have a physical copy, too. So I'm picking that physical copy up because physical copy is the way to go. But yeah, overall, the state of play, though, pretty mid. But at least there's one plus side to take away from it. We all had a game that we can all walk away and say, well, that's cool.
But my opinion on it is it's not a great state of play overall. But the one plus side of this state of play, and it's something that even while people like we haven't necessarily talked the most highly of it, a lot of people won't be talking the most highly of it. There's one thing that you got to give them credit for. There was something on this for just about anyone.
True. That's true.
It's like if you wanted a shooter, you can either go to Concord or you can go to Marvel Rivals. You've got one there that you can go to. If you're a fan of Monster Hunter, we finally got a good trailer for it. We know it's coming out next year.
Yep. You like platformers? Got an Astrobot. You like VR games? Got a couple of VR games.
Yeah. If you want a nice cozy adventure game, we got. I forgot the name of it. But
Infinity Nikki, I think.
Yeah, Infinity Nikki.
Horror games, you got Until Dawn and Silent Hill.
All I thought with Infinity Nikki is it was what Showtime Peach could have been.
Man, facts. Still blows me away. I mean, it doesn't, but it does. That Princess Peach Showtime was like a 1 million unit seller. It's like, dude, that game's garbage.
Yeah, but it's just one of those things where I think for as kind of like mid as we would call this showcase, there's something to be said for having a little bit of everything, or something. You have something for anyone
to catch people's attention. Yeah.
And it's like I had no expectations going in. I got very disappointed after Concord, but I still came out of it feeling pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same way. It's why I gave a knee-jerk reaction, giving it a B because I thought Astrobot looked awesome.
Well, it's like when I got home from work and you started messaging me on it, I tuned in. And when I tuned in, it was starting Monster Hunter. And I was like, oh, this is awesome.
I'll be honest, I watched the beginning and end and went, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then I went back and watched it. I was like,
This is not awesome.
I was like, huh. Alex gave this a B.
I was feeling generous, I guess. Knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah. Again, it's like I said, something for just about anyone on here.
Yeah.
Anybody can watch this and pick out at least one thing that they're probably going to enjoy.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that rather than just having a showcase dedicated to like nothing.
Right. Hopefully we can have the same sort of takeaway with Xbox and Summer Game Fest, which Summer Game Fest we should. Summer Game Fest is always
Summer Game Fest I will.
Yeah, Summer Game Fest always has just a lot of stuff for everyone.
It's my favorite showcase of the year.
Summer Game Fest is always really good. So I've got some pretty solid expectations for it this year. I'm pretty excited for it. But any other thoughts on the state of play?
Hopefully the next one's better.
Fair.
Not to mean that as like putting this one down. I
Yeah.
want to be excited when they announce the next one.
That's fair.
No.
Okay. All right, let's shout out one of our sponsors. Let's shout out some Rogue Energy. Use the referral link down below, promo code Sparky3 to get 10% off your order. You can pick up the hydration line like Dragon Fruit Mango, the chill line with strawberry hibiscus, or the energy line, whether if you want the tubs or the cans. For the tubs, definitely recommend some Rocket Pop, strawberry kiwi, grape popsicle, and more. And then for the cans, black cherry lemonade. It's one of the best canned energy drinks I've ever had, and I definitely recommend it. Back to this.
Zach, I don't know if you were listening when you were coming over here. He asked me about Esports Godfather. And remember how last week I was saying, yeah, I kind of wish it was a little more challenging.
Yeah.
It ramps up.
Good.
They get a lot more aggressive in the next series.
Oh, that's good. Have you dropped a game yet?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I dropped the first game in the new series because I was like, I was thinking, I was like, I'd probably jump a little bit in difficulty, but it won't be that much. They played so much more aggressive. I was not ready for it because I was also playing mostly new champions.
Oof.
Because when the regulation when I won playoffs, I went through playoffs undefeated and won that. And then like once you win playoffs, there's a whole lot of like management stuff, like management sim stuff you got to go through. But then I jumped into the next league and started playing there, and it introduced me to so many new characters that I was like, I've got to try them all. And safe to say, I got shit on. But yeah, still, it's fun. Definitely massive ramp up in difficulty from that point, just from an aggression standpoint.
Oh, that's good.
What all have you been up to this week? Anything special?
Well, I do need to check out because I didn't realize they came out this week. Capes, that's the XCOM-like superhero game. Came out this past week, which I was slightly interested in. So I want to check that out at some point. Found out that Killer Clowns from Outer Space is apparently a good game to jump into if you enjoyed Friday the 13th.
I forgot that game was a thing.
That came out as well this week.
Forgot about that.
Apparently, from all the reviews and stuff I looked at, if you were a big fan of Friday the 13th game, this is definitely a game you should jump into.
Okay.
And apparently people are getting those vibes from it. In terms of what I've actually been playing, though, I've been playing the subpar multiverses. So Multiverses had its full release on the 28th.
Oh, yeah.
And it came back to us in a worse state than it left us back a year ago.
I was going to say, I've, like, in the past couple days, I've seen some videos come out from people that I watched when Multiverses was out before. They're not necessarily happy.
Yeah, no, it's not a particularly great time.
That's unfortunate because it left on such a high note.
Dude, I saw a side-by-side video of what Multiverses was gameplay-wise versus what it is now. It looks like you're playing the old footage at, like, quarter speed.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, it was getting, like, nominated for awards and shit because people thought the game was actually out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what happened. I mean, I guess they had to take a back burner with creating the whole Rifts mode, which is sort of, Um, and yeah, it suffered because I mean, like a lot of the stuff that was actually good and okay with during the open beta, it's gone. Like, um, like aftermatch no longer shows you people's damage and KOs.
Feels like a weird thing to take out.
Yeah. Consistently in matches, you're gonna hit at least a lag spike at least once or twice across the
no.
board in the PvP and PvE mode. Because there have been reports of people lagging in the tutorial.
That's bad.
Yeah.
Oh God.
The Rift modes, it's PvP, PvE thing. I mean, you just go think of like the Smash Brothers story mode, but you just go through nodes, do a fight. There's objectives you can do to get towards the completion tracker for that Rift to unlock more gem experience, which you need to get higher difficulties of the Rifts. The one crappy thing, one mission that's on everything is, hey, bring someone with you to play.
Nobody wants to play that.
And then it all ends with it's got bonus stages where you destroy targets and stuff like that, all to get to the final fight, which is just a special boss fight with some slightly different mechanics. But I mean, it's not a big hype to it really at all.
Just came out as like a deflated fart. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, they added the whole PvE thing, but I mean, it's sort of lackluster. I mean, it's also adding some sort of like storyline to the whole multiverses thing, which is also lackluster. They changed the currency system, so it's sort of shit now. Because you could gain battle pass experience and in-game currency by just playing matches. You no longer gain that by playing matches. You can only gain it through dailies, weeklies, and for the currency to purchase fighters and whatnot, you can only acquire through progression trackers, either through the character levels, events, and battle pass. And they've made all characters cost 3,000 when a lot of the recommended and easy characters were only like 150. So now they're baseline 3,000, and then new characters are 6,000. And like, because there's so limited ways to earn currency, it's sort of a pain in the ass to get currency.
Yeah, because when it was out before, you just played the game and you earned the currency to buy the characters after every match.
Yeah.
But from what I've seen, it's like like you can get the stuff from missions for the battle pass, but there's limited missions per day that you're allowed to do.
Yep.
So if you get them done quickly, then it's like you can play the game just to play the game for fun if you want to, but you're not progressing for anything. Like they took away the just because in a fighting game in particular,
Yes.
you want your progression system should be play the game to get better at the game.
And be more obvious. I mean, you still have the progression of each of the characters, but at the same time, it's sort of just like, it's not a quick return and that's like, yes, I'm progressing, as currency was.
Yeah.
The one bonus, the one W out of this is if you were an open beta player, all the things you acquired from the open beta battle passes or purchased, you got to keep. So all that comes back to you. So like I still had all my skins and characters and whatnot, which is fine and whatnot. That's the one W I got out of this. The only thing was all your character progression reset because they changed the character progression stuff because they made the progression rewards sort of crap because during the open beta you got like sort of cosmetics, emotes, things like that for that specific character. Now it's just a single badge which shows your character wins, and then it's just perk currency, which is because they changed the perk system too. 3 nodes that have fighter currency, and then at the end when you hit 15, I think if I remember correctly, it was either an icon or the real money currency called Gleamium. By the way, they expanded the shop and is more fancy now, so they want people to buy stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing.
They're trying to lure me in.
When you have the not officially out yet version, you have it all nice and easy and easily accessible and fun. And then when the game comes out, you go, now give me money.
Well, to be fair, if you were, I guess, an open beta player, you got the premium battle pass for Season 1 free. So you automatically get Jason Voorhees.
Shout out to him coming to the game.
Yeah, because with the game they released Jason Voorhees, Joker, and Agent Smith's going to be in the game because they already have an event going where you can unlock him for free by beating 20 Rift bosses. But you only get credit for the first time you beat him on a difficulty, so you got to play the other difficulties, and each time you got to go through the entire Rift each time.
Ooh.
So it's rough if you want to do it that way.
Let me guess. There's also the $9.99 option.
No.
Okay.
Wait. Right now, there's not that option, but eventually that option.
Oh, when he actually fully releases, yes, there'll be a bundle for him because there's currently a Joker bundle.
Yeah. The $9.99 special.
Yep.
I don't think it's actually $9.99. I think it's only actually $30.
Agent Smith will be.
I mean, they don't have any bundle for Jason Voorhees. It's just you get the battle pass or you don't get them. Which I don't know how much the battle pass is because I got it for free. So.
Fair.
And then they have a prestige store because for every character, cosmetic, and things like that, you get prestige points, which you can then go to the prestige shop to buy stuff.
Man, they're really pushing shops pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some negative opinions online since the release of the game.
Yeah, Multiverse came back to us in a bag of crap.
That's unfortunate.
I mean, the actual game, if you can manage to get a game without lag spikes, still fairly fun.
Yeah. The baby that everyone remembers is still there to some capacity.
I did see a in a video I was watching about it. It seems like there's a lot more like frame or like input lag.
There is.
It's like I think up to like 30 frames of input lag, whereas in the open beta,
it was like
you could I think it was either that or it was a different one of the platform fighters that was out. You could choose your input lag, or you could choose a delay between when your inputs would be registered so that you couldn't overwrite your own inputs.
Oh, I didn't know about that. If Multiverse had that,
it was either Multiverses or a different one of these platform fighters that I tried. But there was one where there was like the normal like input lag that you would have.
Yeah.
But you could change it to be a little bit longer if you wanted to.
And that's actually nice.
Or it was like your inputs, you could customize it more than what it would already be set there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like you could make it lower, but you could make it longer.
Yeah, no, because I've definitely had fights where my input lag is noticeable because I'll hit something like, okay, that didn't work. Like for Jason Voorhees, he seemed like he would be a very strong character because when I actually get combos off with him, I feel like I'm just playing Tekken or Street Fighter with him because of just how fluid his combos can go. And the fact that a lot of his stuff is mixed in with grabs. Because, like, I can go up, shoulder charge, punch, 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 sleeping bag, throw someone's ass off the stage.
I love that the sleeping bag's included.
Yeah, no, his specials are pretty funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah, his down special is if he's on the ground, he nabs someone in a sleeping bag, and you can either smash them on the ground or you can hit special again and throw them and use them as a throwable.
That's absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure some sleeping bag related like kills have happened in like some other films. 'Cause I know like in the reboot, there was one at the beginning.
Oh, there's a couple.
But the one that's the most notable is Jason X.
Yep.
So big shout out that that's included because that scene in Jason X is awesome.
I mean, most of his specials are pretty good because like his up special, he gets his axe, and if he hits someone with it, he catches them and just slams them on the ground.
Yeah.
I mean, his main neutral, just basic attack combo is a slash grab throw.
Yeah.
So a lot of his combos have grabs initiated. So like legitimately, if you can learn it, it's just playing a fighting game. A
Right.
regular fighter game.
Nice. I'm so glad the sleeping bags got included. That's awesome. 10 out of 10 on that. Not 10 out of 10 on everything else, but 10 out of 10 on that. They got one thing right.
I was about to say the characters are still fun to play. It's just in a very rough state at the moment.
That's unfortunate. Play any more XDefiant?
I've played a couple rounds, yeah.
I mentioned to him that, I've played probably about 2 or 3 rounds. I actually enjoyed it. I definitely got the vibe that you two talked about where it's like, it's a good, like, intermediary game. You know what I mean? Like, to get you to the next step of where you're going, like with Black Ops 6 or whatever. But I enjoyed the couple rounds I played. It was fun.
It's fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I am really bad at FPS games these days, though. I didn't like completely eat ass. I had a positive KD and stuff, but it's just still it's like, oh man, my reflexes are not what they used to be.
I'll be honest, having a positive KD can be pretty rough in that game.
Yeah. Oh, I found that out. I found that out too. I've had positive KDs, but I found out, oh, you're walking a fine line.
Yep.
Yeah, to get there. But
because I told you, it's like you kill one person, there's probably someone around the corner about to shoot you.
Oh yeah. So yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It was fun. Other than that, I've been playing some TFT this week, so that's also been pretty enjoyable. Anything else you guys want to chat about? I didn't really have anything else slated for the show because I knew we would probably talk about that state of play for a while.
I mean, the only real thing was multiverse and just a shit show it's been.
Yeah.
Zenless Zone Zero, Hoyo versus next game, has got an official release date announcement for July 4th.
Nice.
So we'll be releasing on PS5 and PC.
Yep, and then Boot Hill just came out for Honkai.
Yes.
Yep, Christina has been very excited for him for a while, and she's been saving up stuff for it and finally got him. So
shoot, just swipe that Affirm card.
Stop. Stop. No, don't use the Affirm card.
Honkai money bags.
I might try that Zenless Zone Zero game.
See,
I've looked at some like Honkai I looked at, but I think by the time I looked at it, I was like, I don't want to get into it right
that's
now.
fair.
From the beginning though, I might try to get into this one.
I mean, I like it because like we have Genshin, which is more of an action adventure, Honkai, which is the RPG style, and then Zenless Zone Zero is like more of a beat 'em up.
Yeah. I think I'll give that one a try. Maybe I'll get into it.
I mean, look, the bottom line is it's going to be a good game. I mean, because they've made, they make good games.
They've got 2 solid phone sort of PC games going, gotcha games.
Yeah.
Just racking in money.
Yeah. God, the amount of money this studio is racking in is crazy, man. Shout out to Hoyo, man.
I mean,
they're rocking.
Gotchas, I mean, if you do them right.
Shit. They're rocking, man. Shout out to them.
Yeah. I need more long-term games that I could just always play a little bit each day.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoyoverse games are good for that as long as you get past the initial grind. If you don't start from the beginning.
Yeah, right.
I don't think I'd have a problem with that.
Yeah, no, not John. Not John. You guys got anything else? If not, I'll shout out Agent Inc. We can move on to the weekly wrap-up.
No, I don't think I do. Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. I do have one thing. June 28th is going to be the last day anybody can access Risk of Rain Hostile Wars, the mobile gacha game that Epic Games did for Risk of Rain when they acquired the IP. Apparently, it has not been well received in its sort of early access thing. So, as of June 28th, that will be the last day you can be accessed at all before it is shut down completely.
Rest in peace. Surprised they didn't try to do a Persona collab to save it, like all these other mobile games do to try to save their game whenever they're all dying. All right, let's shout out Agent Inc., our other sponsor. You can use the referral link down below and pick up one of our 2 hats or one of our 4 jerseys, like the Sparky 3, the AniMan Plus Gamesthetic, or the Terrible Football Show. And we would appreciate that extra support because there are some pretty sick jerseys. And we definitely recommend you get them. They're great material and everything. Great place to buy some merch. Another great place to buy some merch is going to be sparky3shop.com. That link's down in the description below as well. All right, boys. Let's start going through the weekly wrap-up then. Let's finish up the show beautifully here today. So the first thing here is COD Black Ops 6 will release day one on Game Pass, and they did make sure to clarify that it will not be locked behind some other higher Game Pass tier that would be created for it. So they're basically confirming there's not another Game Pass tier in the works, because some people have kind of speculated that. Because I think everyone's been speculating that because of like all the Activision Blizzard stuff that's about to just flood the service, you know, where people have thought it's like, oh man, are they going to introduce a more expensive tier of Game Pass for certain games, like, you know, some of these big
PSN.
Basically take PSN's formula. Yes,
I think they would know better than that, because they've currently, it's like they're rocking the best deal in gaming with Game Pass.
Yep.
You start adding tiers to that and having and like locking stuff behind it, all you're gonna do is piss people off like Sony did.
Yep. And it'd be a pretty interesting thing to follow too, on like what goes into, like, let's say Game Pass Ultimate Plus, for example, or in their Game Pass Ultimate like day one release. Like COD obviously would be in the top tier, you know, like your Elder Scrolls in the top tier. Like what's gonna fall down to that second tier? It's just like, just don't do it. That's the bottom line. So they clarified that, so that's good. Then we did have a Dragon Ball Sparking Zero trailer, so big shout out to that. Did you watch it?
It was all about fusions.
It was all about fusions. It was very fusion head focused. Yeah.
It was basically just showing fusions are back. You can do, it's like all the fusion characters are here. You can have all your fusions. It looked like Beam Clashes are back.
Yeah.
Or gonna be a pretty good focus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, basically just confirming all the fusion characters gonna be there. That it essentially just showing how far into Super that we can at least confirm with some of these characters. Look great.
Yep. No Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta though.
They're just not showing it yet.
Yeah.
What about Blue Vegeta?
Blue Vegeta's in there.
Yep.
Yep.
No, every comment I saw on it was just saying, "Where's Super Saiyan 4?"
Yeah, that's what I saw too.
What about Granola Man?
I don't think he's been shown, but he probably would be in the game. We'll see. I don't think he hasn't been shown, but I could see him being in the game though. Him and Moro, I could see both them being in there.
Still kills me their villains are free granola bars.
Yeah, character name Granola. Facts. I think his home planet was like, God, it's been a while since, you know, because obviously now it's on a hiatus due to the passing of Toriyama, rest in peace. But I think their race was called the Cerealans, I think is what it was.
It was something dumb like that, yeah.
I love how he names everything after food, man. I think that's funny. So, but no, the trailer looked great though.
Yeah. Also, just a few days ago was Dragon Quest Day.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, one of my yearly or predictions for the year was immediately shot down.
Yep, which was Dragon Quest 12.
Yeah, I was shooting for Dragon Quest 12 announcement and release date coming. No, pretty much we got a brief mention of Dragon Quest 12 saying it's taken longer than expected. We've had some like bumps in the road. We're still working on it. Basically just confirming, hey, we're still working on this. Don't worry that Square Enix is canceling everything.
Yeah.
And then brief update on Dragon Quest 3. It's like full remake. Should be getting more information on it, hopefully from Summer Games Fest. So it's like, I guess, hopefully look forward to that in the next week.
Yeah, with the HD 2D remake, whatever. Yeah, because I think it was for 3, and then I think the HD 2D remake for the second game. I think that's the thing. I think they both got URLs that people came across. So there are websites that are up and made. So there's probably stuff right around the corner for it. So that's good. Everwild is confirmed to not be at the Xbox showcase. And also, I mentioned this to John before we ever started. I don't know if I missed this or they just now confirmed it, but like, did you know this game was apparently like a multiplayer co-op game? Like, I didn't know that.
What?
Everwild.
I've still have never looked into Everwild more than you two mentioning it.
Like, I just know it's Rare's new game. I thought it was a single player, like, adventure game. I didn't know it was a multiplayer co-op game. So I was like, I saw that little news bit. I'm like, I feel like that's news. Like, I didn't know that.
Zach, I'm in the same spot as you. He mentioned it when I got here, and I went, "What is Everwild?"
Yeah, the game that has been prime forward, basically. Hypercharge came out, and it's already sold over 25K copies online in 24 hours. So
It came
shout out
out
to that.
for console. It's been out on PC.
Yeah, it came out for Xbox. So shout out to that. Then the final Redfall update is live. John, I think it's time for you to go back and finish.
It's time for you to jump in and give it a try.
The vampires can now become polygons.
It's got the single player offline mode. So shout out to that.
Oh, is that what the final update was?
There was a bunch of other things like some Nest improvements or something. I almost typed it out. I started to, and I'm just like, no one's gonna give a shit. So now I wish I typed it.
Yeah.
But
Now that the final update is live, it's time for you to go in and see if the ending experience is better than the first new player experience.
He's got a point.
okay, that's fair.
It's still free on Game Pass.
It is on Game Pass, so shout out to that. Then we do have a Ubisoft forward set for June 10th. So
Do we
shout out to
expect
that.
anything different than the standard Ubisoft showcase?
Nope, same shit.
I
Same
expect
shit.
he will watch it.
I will. I watch every showcase.
The only thing different I expect is some XDefiant roadmap. Other than that,
Yeah. I watch every showcase. In fact, a great example is I watched the Marvelous showcase last night.
what's the thing? What?
Yeah, Marvelous had a showcase.
What?
Marvelous.
What?
Marvelous.
Who?
Marvelous.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, you can keep saying the same word.
I know,
Like
I
you're
know.
following a bit. We still don't know what that is.
Marvelous is like the publishing studio for like, a lot of different JRPGs like Rune
I don't know.
Factory and
This is why I'm asking.
Story of Seasons and stuff like that. That they just do a bunch of JRPGs.
So all the crap that I'll see when they come out and be like, "Bye."
Basically.
Cool.
Yep. No, watched that last night. Hiro Mashima's working on a game, I guess.
Yes.
It led off the showcase, and literally, I was like, not even 3 seconds in, I immediately said out loud, "Well, I don't need to hear the confirmation this is Hiro because this is Hiro." Because it's like literally right out of the gate, you have a red-haired Natsu, and then you have a red Acnologia, and I'm just like, literally look just like Acnologia, but just red.
I like the guy's content, but he needs to learn how to draw new characters.
For real, like, dude, like some of the characters, like the female, like the female pro tag, whatever, like she looked a little bit different than like Lucy and Rebecca, right? But then it's just like, all right, so we just have a blue-haired gray. Got it. Like that's we have a blue-haired
Hey, Gray and Juvia's child.
Yeah, like basically, like top to bottom. Like, all right, so there's Urza. All right, cool. There's Sting. All right, cool. Like, I was like, dude, it was fair. I forgot the name of the game. It's like Farm something. It's like Farm
Farmtail?
No, it's like Farm
Fairy Farm?
Farm Magia or something like that. I don't know, but. So shout out to that, man. That's a thing that's coming. And then it's like you get into the part where they start talking about the game. It's like, oh, the art is being done by Hero. Oh, yeah, I'm pretty sure everyone got that.
Anyone who's seen Fairy Tale or
Edens or Rave or anything, like, you would pick that up within a few seconds. But it was a thing. I watched it with, Christina, 'cause she's obviously a massive fan of, like, anything that they do. They did show... like a trailer for like Rune Factory, like Project Dragon or something they revealed a while ago. She absolutely fucking hated it. Like I don't know much about Rune Factory. Like I know it's like a life sim, farm sim, as well as like some adventure action stuff. This straight up just looked like an action RPG. And I'm just like, is this still like Rune Factory?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what I'm watching.
They're trying to bring me over.
Yeah.
they're trying to get in a new audience.
So it's like an action RPG based around dance is what it is. So like the dude, when he came on screen, he's like, normally when you play Rune Factory games, you're, making friends with everyone through farming and this and that. In this case, it will be through dancing. And like all the fighting is done through dancing. But it's an action game, but it's
so
all
wait,
done through
is it
dancing.
rhythm? It's not rhythm based?
It's not rhythm based. It's just when they're fighting, they're dancing. That's the best way I can describe it. I don't know.
Do you remember what the name with this? I'm almost sold here.
Like I said, it was
Dude,
called Rune Factory, like Project Dragon.
I just want to point out, like, you said action RPG, my eyes lit up. Then you start talking about this dancing and weird combat, and Zach's eyes light up as mine dim.
I'm going to be honest. I got the weird Fire Emblem game that was done in association with the
Tokyo, whatever.
Tokyo, yeah. Which it's done in association with the Persona team.
Yeah.
So it's a Persona game, but they're all like, I want to say they're like idols.
Yeah. It is like Tokyo Mirage Sessions or something like that. And it's like FE.
Switch only.
Yeah, FE Encore or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about exactly.
It's one of those Fire Emblem games that's going to be an oddball that collector's item.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be worth a shit ton of money.
Because it's on the Switch, only on the Switch, and it's a Fire Emblem game.
Basically. Oh, anyway. So that's all I had for news bits. You guys got any other news bits to shout out? Anything of the sort that I missed? Pretty small weekly wrap up this week, so there's probably plenty of things that I missed.
I don't know. The only ones I remembered I already put in.
Yeah, the Dragon Quest. Yeah. You got anything?
No, I already mentioned them with the whole capes and then killer clowns from outer space.
Okay. All right, let's finish up the show with the Gamesthetic Game of the Week. Zach, I think it's your turn. What you got?
I got a couple, but I was debating one.
Okay. All right.
What you got, John?
I was looking at you, and as soon as he said your name, your eyes changed. I was like, he either remembered or he's trying desperately to think.
I remember. It's just I've been debating on which one I was going to mention because one slightly triggers you all the time whenever I mention it.
That could be a few things, honestly.
I don't think it can. Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw in an old 360 game, which yes, it's an old tactics RPG game that I picked up a long time ago, called Records of an Augurous War.
It's fucking weird.
More or less, it is a classic tactics game. It's from the 360 era. It's 14 years old now, so it is a bit dated in terms of combat and things like that. Overall, the story and the whole story system, how it works, is the main reason why I suggested, because the story progresses through 5 cycles of generations. So more or less, you go through the main opening story and things like that, and it ends with the MC and one of the heroines getting together and sending their party through the next generation with their heir. And then you play the next set as those two's child with their stats based on those two characters' stats when you finish that section. Mm-hmm. And it does this for 5 generations, following the same story of trying to fight the evil and things like that. It's part visual novel, dating sim, part tactics game. As I said, it's 14 years old, so it is a bit dated. I'm going to be honest, if you are going to play it, I would suggest the easiest difficulty because it is tedious. Because it does travel by nodes. Each node is a fight. And until like you get your party leveled up, fighting is very tedious and repetitive. So I'm going to be honest, I'm mostly suggest the game just for the sole story and its system itself. But I mean, it's very enjoyable if you like tactics game. You can actually get into it because it does have quite a bit of character building and weapons and whatnot, especially with the whole spanning 5 generations, because some characters carry over, some do not. Then you also have the stats based on your next MC, based on how you build your main hero for that generation, which heroine you're going to go with. So, I mean, there's quite a bit of systems going on here and there. I got a trailer to show you before we leave.
I will add in as well. I think you can still buy it on Steam as well, and on Steam it does go on sale fairly often, where you can usually pick it up for pretty cheap.
Yeah, like $2 to $5.
Oh, shut out.
Because I've actually picked it up as well, just for the memes.
Yes.
I picked it up to meme him to tell him that I bought it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, because this is a game I bought after I stumbled across the trailer on YouTube. I watched the trailer and went, all right, I'm going to go. I went out the same day, went to our local GameStop, bought it 360.
That's awesome. All right, shout out to that. That's a wonderful shout out for Game of the Week. John's got it next week. whenever we do the show next week. I don't know. We're gonna figure that out.
I'm glad because as soon as what I said, John knew immediately what game it was going to be.
Yep.
All right, boys. Let me hit the music. Let's get out of here.
Like, comment, subscribe, rate, whatever your platform allows. Let us know what you thought about the Sony State of Play, whether we calling it bit is bad or whether you actually really enjoyed everything that came out.
Yeah, do everything he said more. And if you like what you saw or you want to come check us out during one of these live streams, we'll do one next week at some point in time. Alex will probably say something about it, or you can just guess, and then we'll be on eventually.
Something will come out from us. I just don't know when. It's showcase time. There's a lot of showcase to talk about. It's really exciting times. One of the best times of the year to be a gamer with all the news coming out. Can't wait for it. Summer Game Fest is going to be great. Hopefully the Xbox Showcase is going to be great. Ubisoft Forward is going to be a thing. And we'll see everything else that comes out in between. Can't wait to talk about all of it. Make sure to go check out some Rogue Energy as well as some Agent Inc. Referral links for both of those are down in the description below. Join the Discord. Be a friend. Tell a friend. Thank you so much. Bye.